Last video, we learned the remarkable central limit theorem, which says when your sample size is big enough, you will get a normal distribution where the mean should be the theoretical average value and the standard deviation will get smaller according to formulas that are given for the proportion and for the mean situations. However, if we actually want to use the central limit theorem to find probabilities from the normal distribution in Excel, there are technically some assumptions that must be true. The first is the independence assumption. This means that one value needs to be independent of another. That's another way of saying one person's results doesn't impact another person's results. If you think about our examples like rolling a die, should one roll be independent of another? Yes, if it is truly a fair and random die. So that assumption should be met. The second one is the randomization condition. The data should be randomly selected. So in your question, look for it to say that you have a random sample. This theorem does not work if you choose a convenient sample or just a sample that's easy for you. It must be a random sampling process, like a simple random sample. We then have some conditions related to sample size. The first one is the 10% condition, which says that the sample size should not be too large. In fact, the sample size shouldn't be larger than 10% of the population. Finally, we have a condition about the sample size being too small. So 10% is if it's too large or not. The fourth one is about how big the sample size needs to be, so it's not too small. If you're talking about means, the sample size should be bigger than 40. If you're talking about proportions, you should check that this n, the sample size times p, and then n, the sample size times 1 minus p, are both bigger than 5. If they're both bigger than 5, then it means your sample size is big enough. In the next lesson, we're actually going to check these conditions once we start our probability calculations, but in this lesson, we're just going to state the assumptions. So all four of these things must be true in order for you to use the central limit theorem, which essentially just means that you can use the normal distribution to do probability calculations. We'll actually do the calculations in lesson 5-2. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about lesson 5-1, please reach out to your professor.